Hi. Do you know that experience of having something difficult happen? Like somebody might not see you, or somebody causes you pain. And then there's this effort of, or somebody does something that like brings something up in you. And then there's this effort of like how do I avoid that in the future? Like how do I make this not happen? And what if there was actually a different approach to all of this? Like when you imagine a painter who has like a muse that inspires him to paint a painting, to draw a picture, to make a sculpture. So the muse is necessary for the inspiration, for the painter to feel something within themselves, or the paintress. And then once the inspiration is there, the artist can continue developing and working on that piece of art. And so what I've been practicing is when my partner, my friends, when somebody triggers or activates me, to feel like they're my muse, that inspires me to like bring something up in me that has always been there from my childhood, from my youth, from yesterday. And so they kind of like, they trigger something in me, they activate something through the way they act towards me. But the moment they activate it is, it's maybe not about fixing it, changing the relationship, setting boundaries. Sometimes it is. But in many cases, I can first actually attend to my own feelings. Like I can turn inwards and be with the activation and learn like how can I show up for myself? How can I be there? How can I be a parent to myself? How can I love myself? What does this emotion, this feeling inside of me need? And then later on, when I've got to know that, when I've worked with it, when I actually found my ground again, I can then consider like, do I need to shift the connection, the relationship? Do I want that experience? Do I want the space for that? So I can evaluate that later. And what often happens for me is after I have been with the activation that came up in me and found my peace, like after I've fully owned that whatever happens inside of me is mine, and it's not the other person doing something, but it's really like owning like I brought this into this moment. They reminded me of something, they reflected me something, they inspired that this trauma was reminded, but it's really my trauma. And so after I learned to hold myself, I often feel that the moment looks different, that I don't have to change the situation of the person. And sometimes it's abusive, sometimes it's wrong, and sometimes it needs to be changed. But many times there's something really empowering about first showing up for myself. And yeah, I wanted to share that. And what it really is for me is that this interaction with this other person brought something up, brought something to life in me that has been there all my life and has been wanted to be felt and held and for my whole life. And if I like immediately jump into fixing the situation or avoiding that's ever going to happen again, I actually miss turning towards and being with this maybe pain inside of me that has been wanted to be felt and attended to and made space for maybe my whole life. And since I realized that I've been treating others who trigger things in me as my muse to remind me of myself and remind me of deepening the connection with myself. Maybe it helps you in your life. And in another video I'm happy to share how I turn towards those things inside of myself. Enjoy the journey.